Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, aka the guy who doesn't know if Simmons fits Fitz or if Fitz fits Simmons. And we're already off to a terrible start with the worst pun ever. Anyway, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back for its final season, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking down the first episode. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't had a chance to check out the show yet, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. Please drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe for breakdowns on the season week by week. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into our recap of episode 1. Okay, so episode 1 takes place in 1931, namely New York City. As we know from season 6, this is where the agents ended up, and I think judging by the first entry, this season is sort of going to be a Legends of Tomorrow quest in which the group must protect the timeline at all costs from the Chronicoms. This is very much set up in the introductory scene in which we see 3 hunters taking the faces of 3 policemen. Shoutouts Slender Man. We then get a 30s inspired title sequence, and I really hope that they do this for every era that the team go to because it looks absolutely brilliant. Anyway, aboard the Zephyr we join Simmons, Mac and Daisy, who are pretty shocked to see Coulson back once more. We learn that Simmons was able to resurrect him using Chronicom hardware and the group's life model decoy technology. So whilst Coulson isn't really the real Coulson, he's as close as you can get. Humanly possible anyway, well, robotly possible. LMDs have of course been laced throughout the series so far, and whilst they've turned out to be antagonists at several points, Coulson at least seems to be one of the good guys. Now this kind of ties into my theory on the whole LMD Chronicom thing. I've actually thought that the LMDs would actually be revealed to be the precursors to the Chronicoms, and this may be where the show is heading towards with the use of time travel. Chronicoms are an ancient synthetic that tend to operate in the galaxy as observers. Enoch stated that he was sent from 30,000 years ago to observe the people of Earth, and it is possible that Coulson in some ways may end up in the past and he may become the one that kickstarts the race. This could also set up how Enoch was given the mission to observe the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and a lot more. That theory's probably full of holes, but yeah, I do think they're kind of teasing at it here. Anyway, Coulson was built using the last available brain scan on the character, and he seems pretty distressed to find out the reality of the situation. It's very hard hitting, and he mentions things like Ghost Rider, Tahiti, which as we know is a magical place, the lighthouse, and Death of Fitz. This forces Mac to power him down, and he asks for the 411 on, well, whatever's going on. Through time streams left by the tides of the Chronicoms' journey, the group have been able to follow the hunters as they attempt to eliminate S.H.I.E.L.D. from history. Through these tides, Simmons has been able to follow them, and she shows the group the new command center, which is packed with time-specific weapons. I spotted a Tommy gun, M16, and some modern day ones, so I think we might even stop by Vietnam before heading home to the present. Let me know below what times you think we may see, because I think these weapons do sort of tease out all of the possible periods we could get. The team also meet Enoch, who talks like my grandma when she wears headphones. In case you don't know, Enoch is a Chronicom himself, and he's been scanning the airwaves for any sign of the hunters. Everyone gets suited and booted, but the first thing that they have to do is sort out Daisy's hair. Purple in the past, you damn SJW, you make me sick! Anyway, we also learn the fate of May, and she's been recuperating since coming back from Izal's dimension. We'll get into what I think happened to her more at the end of the video, but she gets fixed throughout the episode, and though we are told it should take a week for her to recover, it happens a lot quicker. We see a poster for Bela Lugosi's Dracula, and this could be a nice little nod to how the hunters suck the life out of their prey. Vampires are monsters that appear as humans, just like how the Chronicoms are synthetics that appear as humans, and in a way, it's like poetry, they rhyme. We also see a poster for The Phantom of the West, which was a 1931 film that followed a man that was wrongly accused of murder. He escaped prison and found the true killer, which was a man that used the name The Phantom. A phantom is often a term used for someone who is able to create an illusion of who they are, whilst really hiding a darker nature to them. Hydra hid within S.H.I.E.L.D. like a phantom. The Chronicoms are phantoms in some ways as they've taken the identities of policemen, and there's a nice little mirroring here of a phantom menace because it's like poetry, they rhyme. I feel sorry if you've just started watching my channel and you don't get that we do terrible jokes all of the time basically. Anyway, the set designers have really created a living, breathing 30s New York. The last time we saw this in the MCU was in Agent Carter and also Captain America the First Avenger, and I would love to have seen a young skinny Steve or something, but Though we don't really get a big Easter egg, it is still nice to take at least a trip down memory lane. This is an era of prohibition in which alcohol had to be sold on the black market, and this ties into one of the main plot points in the entry. Deke explains the time stream model, which does slightly contradict the multiverse one from the main MCU. I don't think they care too much about trying to tie into it anymore, but basically it means they should be able to create minor ripples in the time stream without causing any problems. The group pose as Canadian Mounted Police and gain access to the crime scene after Daisy gives some stunning and brave sass to a chauvinist man. Here Coulson finds a swordfish symbol which reminds him of a New York City speakeasy that he heard about in the SSR era. The password was swordfish, which he uses to gain entry, and they order drinks, but the barman pulls out a shotgun on them. They're here to meet someone called Gemini, and this is revealed to be Koenig, who I'm sure you recognise as Patton Oswalt. Patton has played the part of the Koenig brothers throughout the series, and this is the 6th time that he's played a relative of the family. I loved seeing him pop up, and it was one of the biggest surprises in the episode. Gemini of course symbolises twins, and the Koenigs at one point were thought to be twins, so yeah, this is a nice little Easter egg that ties into the overall show. At the crime scene, Deke manages to digitally rebuild the faces of the victims, and he discovers what they look like. One of the Chronicom cops tells the guard at the door that if he wishes to live, then not to come in, and the cop just lets him by because this is the worst policeman ever. He just lets any old straggler in with a badge from a cereal box. You suck. Deke and Daisy battle it out with the 2 Chronicoms, and they manage to steal a car and flee to the Zephyr. On board, Yo-Yo's disease is slowly starting to disappear, and she is also offered synthetic arms that will allow her to feel once more. She initially turns them down, but does take them, finally meaning that she'll be able to travel outside of the craft and interact with missions. At the speakeasy, we learn that Koenig is supplying alcohol for a party in which New York Governor Franklin Roosevelt will be in attendance at. FDR of course ended up going on to become the president, and he formed S.H.I.E.L.D. He was also mentioned in Captain America Civil War during the pen scene, in which we learned that the real life figure was also instrumental to the creation of Captain America. In real life, FDR was unable to walk properly because of polio, and though he should have been confined to a wheelchair, the president hid his disability by having aides help him to walk and also by using braces and a cane. He made sure to never be seen in his chair as he thought it would show him as weak, and during speeches his sons would stand by to make sure he didn't fall. We see this play out in the episode, and it's nice that they paid this much attention to detail with it. The Chronicoms seemingly want to assassinate the president before he can even get the job, so protecting him is of the utmost importance. The group assembles at the party while Simmons attempts to attain data on the Chronicoms' plans from a hostage. They flood his bandwidth with nonsense data in order to get him to spew out random bits of information, similar to how Coulson did in the opening. It's a nice scene that works alongside the party, where we discover what's actually going on. Daisy has a heart-to-heart with Coulson, and it's kind of crazy to think about the journey that they've been on throughout the entire show. I think their relationship, though not often commented on, is sort of a surrogate father and daughter situation, and this has really been the driving part of the series. As FDR goes to leave, they assume that this is when the hit will be carried out, but nothing happens. It's actually revealed that one of the bartenders, Freddie, who worked for Koenig, was the target all along. The Chronicom's face melts, and we see a mysterious woman states that she is his contact and that she has a job for him. Freddie must deliver a set of vials that contain the future, and that in doing so, his family glory will be restored. The woman is killed, and it's revealed that Freddie is actually the father of Gideon Malik, who eventually ends up becoming the leader of Hydra. Gideon was played by Powers Booth, and you might remember that he featured in the Avengers movie and also throughout Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So the Chronicoms actually wish to take out S.H.I.E.L.D. by eliminating the need for it. If they destroy Hydra, then S.H.I.E.L.D. will never need to be formed, and it's a nice little twist on the whole time travel thing. Aboard the ship, Enoch realizes that May has escaped the healing chamber, and she lingers above the room, looking like something from Hereditary. Now, what is going on with this scene, and exactly what's up with May? Well, the last time we saw her, she'd just gotten back from Izel's dimension. I actually have a theory that she was possessed by something from there, and she may even end up becoming the big bad of the season. Whilst time traveling, they need a unifying threat in the show that comes across all of the decades, so it is possible that this may come in the form of May. It was said that she would take weeks to heal by Simmons, but here she's hopping around, so it seems like something far more sinister is going on. I think it would really add an interesting dynamic to the show if she was playing a more villainous role, and this could be a flip on season 6 in which they were trying to save Coulson. This may all turn out to be untrue, but when we know Izel carries the ability to possess people, anything is possible. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the first episode, so make sure you comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video then please drop a thumbs up, and make sure you check out our breakdown of some of the insane details in the Iron Man series, which is going to be linked at the end. We've gone over the whole trilogy movie by movie, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you, you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at Heavy Spoilers or click the Discord link in the description below. Every month we give away free movies to people that subscribe to the channel, and this month you can win the Marvel Phase 3 Part 2 box set, and all you have to do is comment on a video and make sure you sub with notifications on. The more videos you comment on, the more you have a chance of winning, so make sure you get involved. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 15th of June, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.